Okay, Nigel, so first of all, you've had some time to reflect upon last weekend's results at Crawley. How have the lads bounced back from the manner of the defeat last week?
Well, obviously we had our debrief on Monday morning, as we always do, learn the lessons from the game. Well, I think that's massively important. There was many things we can improve on, but there's many good things as well. You know, when you're here, you've got to keep highlighting some good stuff that's going on, notably the couple of great goals from Charlie Jolly and Sam Taylor. You know, we talked about having a defensive shape to start off with against a good possession-based side, if you like, down at Crawley. We've got to stop conceding goals. So obviously that's a big part of what we've got to keep improving on. But our goal that we've gone and scored has come from a good defensive shape. And when you break it down, there was 2 good passages of play where we've defended well, consistently, defended well, blocked it, and then we've been able to counter-attack. Have some lovely passing moves on the back of that. What a fantastic goal from Charlie Jolly. So I was delighted with that for the first goal. Second goal, when we look at Sam Taylor, what a fantastic pass from Brad Walker. You know, he's got an array of passing on it. But the movement from Sam to getting behind, the penetration that we've got, the pace that we've got, the young flair that we've got. So they're the good positives you can take from it. And when you look at Harvey Saunders, if you like, coming back from injuries, being out for a bit, it's been quite frustrating. The impact he made when he came on the pitch to actually threaten him behind. And it's great, the counter-attacking bit of play again, where he's gone down the line and he's had the composure and the awareness to get his head up and put a nice weighted cross across the 6-yard line, if you like, for Josh Hawkes, who's strived like mad to get up in support of him. And unfortunately, just couldn't sort his feet out and just missed it. That would have given us our 3rd goal. That would have put us back in the lead. So that was a little bit frustrating. And again, straight after half-time, we're 1-0 up from the kick-off, something we tried to work on. Maybe a bit of misfortune got it there. But Charlie Jolly, one with the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's made a really good save to deny us. So when we actually break it down, there's some good elements of play that we've got to take heart from. We've got to take the positives from. There was a camaraderie, there's a spirit, there's a structure, there was an organisation. Unfortunately, it was a long trip home. You know, we didn't get back until Sunday morning, the early hours of Sunday morning. So like the supporters, it was a long trip back. And obviously when you haven't got the points, it's not a nice feeling. But it gave us time to reflect, gave us time to say, think of the good things we've gone and done. I talk about flourish, 5 positives to 1 negative. So we always want to try and emphasise that. But likewise, we've got to improve. We had a good meeting on Monday, and then we've been able to work through the course of the week.
Obviously, you spoke last week about it, you know, not being an overnight fix, but one of the key words that you said was identity, the players identifying with how they want to look on and off the ball. Can you see that happening? Because I think there was a clear structure that was starting to come into place in that Crawley game.
Well, again, every team's not going to be like Crawley. You know, there's going to be like horses for courses, to coin a phrase, against the opposition. But likewise, from my point of view, I want us to be out of possession, a structured, organised side that's compact, whether that's the attacking third, the mid third, the defensive third. You can be a compact shape from the edge of your box, but we need to be aggressive. We've got to be an aggressive pressing side, you know. We've got to fight, we've got to do it right. But likewise, we need to have the flair, we've got to be good on the counter-attack, we've got to be good in possession of the football when we've got it, and we've got to set things up, and we've got to be exciting to go and watch. That doesn't happen overnight, you know. Ultimately, as I say, keep saying, it's a given. The whole objective is to win. You can talk about all the different things you want. As I said, I was sat with my dad yesterday. He said, but you've got to win. Son, you've got to win. I know, you've got to win. Break it down. It's how are we going to win? What have we got to go and do to get our performance right, to give ourselves the opportunity to go and win? So that's what we're looking at.
Another week of training, almost done. Now, have you been impressed with the application of the players out on the training pitch?
I must highlight the staff and the players for where we are at this moment in time. It's not nice when somebody loses a job, and not nice being bottom of the league. How do you react? You know, for me, it's behaviours. It's the culture that you have. It's behaviours. It's the basics done well to an elite level on a daily basis. So bringing that, so the players have turned up and they performed every day on the training ground since I've been here. To strive to improve. It's a learning environment. I asked lots of questions, a demand of the players, a demand of the staff. We need to improve. So how can I do that? I've got to make sure that the environment is right. So it is a learning environment. It is a culture of high standards. We can't let anybody's standards drop. It's got to be a culture of being supportive of each other. It's got to be a safe environment where we can ask questions and demand of each other, but not be taking it personally in the wrong way, because we've all got to get this right together. And as I said, it's about behaviours. attitude and behaviours on a consistent basis.
Yeah, and the players definitely noticed that. They speak about the dressing room atmosphere. Despite the run of form, there is a seriously good camaraderie around the group. How important is that to turning things around?
I think you've used the right word, camaraderie. We're up against it. What are you like as a teammate? What's your teamship like? How are we all going to deal with the situation we're in? Don't hide away from it. We're bottom of the league. We've conceded far too many goals. We've not won enough games. We've got to address that. So it can't be a holiday camp. It can't just be a jolly up. However, you can still have that camaraderie where you're demanding of each other, because likewise, to improve, you've got to have a smile on your face. You've got to enjoy coming into work. You've got to enjoy striving to improve. And that's the environment that we've got to have, because that's one way of getting better. Because if you get so uptight, you're not going to improve. When a ball comes, it's going to be bouncing off you. It's going to be like this wall, if you like. If you hit the ball against the wall, it's going to bounce off because it's solid, right? Well, sometimes you've got to be relaxed a little bit to know that you can take the ball under pressure, you can deal with it, and you can go and play free-flowing football, which is what we're striving to get. Easier said than done. But for me, it's about culture, it's about environment, it's about everybody bringing the best of them every day. Every minute of the day, we've got to surround the players with the opportunity. We've got to extract every ounce of potential out of every member of staff, out of every player, every minute of the day to try and get better. We have to improve.
You mentioned Harvey Saunders coming off the bench at the weekend after his injury that he picked up in the first month of the season at Milton Keynes Dons. Are there any players in particular that could be in line for a return this weekend that are close to a return from injury?
What we got an excellent medical sports science staff here. I must highlight that. I've been very impressed with them. And we've got the players who are doing everything they can. They want to be back involved. Now, football, sport equals injury. You're always going to have some form of injury somewhere down the line. It's how best we can get them back as quickly and as safely as possible. There's nothing worse than getting out there before you're ready and you break down, then you're probably going to be out for a longer period of time. So I was trying to get everybody out there. And the players, again, attitudes-wise, they want to be out helping, because they know if they're on the sidelines, they're not helping the team. However, they can help the teammates by supporting the teammates who are playing. They can help the teammates by showing how hard they're working to get themselves fit as quickly as possible. They can support the teammates by supporting them and talking to them. They can help the teammates by making sure they're not coming in, being all moody and sulking around the place, because that rubs off on people. You want the place to be vibrant, you want it to be effervescent, you want people to be supporting each other, yes, demanding of each other, but knowing he's got me back and I'm going to be uplifting around him, because I think if you've got an uplifting mood, that helps develop your culture, develop your environment, and gives you a chance to win more games of football.
This weekend's test comes in the form of Accrington Stanley at Prenton Park. What sort of challenges are you expecting them to bring? Yeah,
I've known John Coleman for a long, long time. In fact, when I was a player at Wigan, John came, he was banging the goals in non-league. He was a real good striker, and he spent a little bit of time with us at Wigan. Come across him as a manager before, you must have to say, you have to give the utmost respect. Experienced manager, utmost respect. What he's done, he's been at Accrington Stanley for a long time, how they've overachieved consistently, how he gets the best out of people consistently. You have to dot your clap and say, well done. So we know at the weekend, this is going to be a tough game. A John Coleman, Accrington Stanley side, it's going to be tough. You've got to compete. If you give them time, they'll play. They're not just a one-dimensional side. They'll play, given time. So we can't allow that. But you have to compete. You have to compete. You've got to stop the forward balls. You've got to win the knockdowns. You've got to defend the set plays. They're a big side from that point of view. They're creative. This is going to be a tough game. They're just on the back of a good victory as well. So from my point of view, aware of the strengths, mindful of the surprises that the opposition will provide. But going back to an earlier question you've said from in the interview, it's about, but we've got to make sure our identity, we're at home, can we impose ourselves on the opposition? But likewise, they're going to do everything they can to stop that. So it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be enthralling. It will be competitive. And that's what we want, isn't it? You want to know that your team's going to have a go.
And lastly, Nigel, 42 years ago, you came to Tranmere Rovers. You started your career here as a player. How much is it going to mean to you to step out as a manager in front of those fans?
Oh, I just got a smile on my face at the thought of that. It is. It's an honour. It's a privilege to, wear the badge. My hometown team, as you said, 42 years ago, a young 17-year-old that made my debut. And you say it, you go full circle sort of thing, but to have the honour to represent the football club is number one. But to have the honour and the privilege to go out and be the manager of the team when we go and play our game against Accrington at Prenton Park, that's an honour and a privilege and a responsibility. It's a big responsibility to be a manager of any football club, because you've got to make sure that everybody sticks together, everybody's disciplined, everybody's toeing the line, standards stay at the highest level, everyone understands the belonging, you're not on your own. It's a safe environment where we've all got each other's backs, staff, players, supporters, we've all got to be an us, it's a we, and if it's a learning environment, we keep developing. We're allowed to make mistakes, honest mistakes. You can make honest mistakes. Avoid making the same mistake all the time. Therefore, you're not learning if you're doing that. So find that environment where we can do it. I'd like to think this is a good football club that will allow us to go and do that. As I say, I'm well aware of my responsibility and I'm really looking forward to it.